Manashi. Yeah.
All right. So, my topic is India in a changing global order, geopolitical challenges, and strategic interest in the Indo-Myanmar borderlands. So, to introduce myself, I come from India's northeastern state of Assam. It is very lesser known, but thanks to the current government that we are getting recognition. So my today's agenda is first I'll introduce the topic, then there is a theoretical background, there will be discussion, strategic implications, geopolitical challenges, then there will be final takeaways, and I will conclude my topic. I will stick to the time limit given to me by the chair. So this, as you can see, this is India's northeastern region. We have 8 states actually, but Myanmar shares borders with Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland, and Arunachal Pradesh. Out of these, Nagaland, Manipur has got problems of insurgency. So there are security challenges, there are geopolitical challenges. And I am also pursuing my PhD, and my topic is on Indo-Myanmar borderlands. So I have visited this region as well, especially Nagaland, because Nagaland is prone with insurgency. There is a lot of underdevelopment. So to introduce the topic, this border region has long remained a very marginal area in both Indian and global strategic consciousness. So if you see Northeast India remained isolated from the mainstream national narrative, even during the British colonial period. So this region is actually a culturally very diverse region. There are ethnic communities, and it is very interesting to know that a lot of tribal communities from the Northeast region also have, ethnic alliances with Myanmar. So they are from the same ethnic groups actually. So they have a, historical linkage as well. They have an ethnic connection as well. So they have familial ties as well. Even their rituals and everything are quite similar. So, the government of India, under the leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, has given its due recognition to Northeast India after a very long time. And it is a strategic bridge to Southeast Asia, but also as a key player in regional development initiatives like the Kaladan Multimodal Transit Transport Project and the India Myanmar Thailand Trilateral Highway Project. So, these projects are very important for India as well as Myanmar. As we all know that Myanmar has been going through a military coup since 2021. So they have ethnic insurgencies, they have extreme poverty, there is a lot of underdevelopment in Myanmar. So India has been a good ally, and India wants to have a very strong link with, Myanmar, even Thailand, with the entire Southeast Asia. So, considering India's position also, Myanmar plays a very vital corridor to strengthen its diplomatic, economic, and political engagements so that we can, mutually benefit as well. And there can be some recognition or some, development that can happen in our northeastern region. The theoretical background that I have studied is a realist geopolitical framework which views states as rational actors navigating a competitive international system to maximize security and power. So I have taken Indo-Myanmar borderlands, which is, situated at the intersection of these competing national interests. And they follow this realist logic because, as you can see, that definitely there is a lot of, ethnic connection and everything. So the Northeast feels a lot more connected to Myanmar. But having said that, there is a presence of China in Myanmar, which is actually strategically, affecting us. So we have to see that because there is a lot of, external forces like China. Presence in Myanmar, we have to be careful that ways because we don't want those insurgencies in Myanmar and insurgents in India working together against the Indian state. So the strategic responses from Indian side. So what we can do from our side, or we are actually doing, is we are looking at the infrastructure development. We are addressing the military position in the region so that we can, work it together. So that is why we're working on these various projects like the Kaladan multimodal project and the India-Myanmar-Thailand highway. And the 70% of the work has been done, but the work has discontinued now because of, the military coup that has started in Myanmar. So, coming to the discussion and strategic implications, Indo-Myanmar borderlands is a reflection of shifting strategic discourses and competing logics of state territoriality, geopolitical realism, and lived realities of the borderland communities. You see, like the whole entire India may be developing, the cities are developing, we have every infrastructure. But what about the borderland communities? What about the border villages? Are they getting the due recognition? Are they still suffering in poverty, or are they also getting recognition from the government so that even they can develop economically as well as socially, culturally? So that is why, as part of the Act East policy by our government, we are focusing on these projects so that the border communities can also be, benefited, because there are so many border villages. There are around 300 border villages, and most of them are in abject poverty. So, India's engagement with Myanmar from a realist perspective is driven by national security, definitely, because national security we have to focus, because it's very important that we do not get affected by these insurgents fighting the Indian state, because these are our own people. We cannot do anything against our own peoples. And why are they going haywire? Because there is a lot of underdevelopment, there's a lot of poverty, and they get funded by some external powers as well. So, our strategic imperative is to counter China's growing footprint in Myanmar with the help of military cooperation, infrastructure movements. As I just mentioned, these projects will definitely benefit these communities. So, in this Indo-Myanmar borderlands, the state interests override the complexities of local social fabrics in a broader geopolitical context. Again, the more strategic implications, if I have to mention that Myanmar is geographically situated at the crossroads of South and Southeast Asia. And that's why they have a leverage to enhance its regional connectivity and expand trade links with key nations like China, India, and the ASEAN states. So these projects like Kaladan and the Myanmar-Thailand trilateral highway, these are envisioned so that there can be the markets can be integrated, there can be international trade, and Myanmar can be benefited, Thailand can be benefited. So we also have economic links with Myanmar, and we are also now focusing on agriculture, on textiles, on energy. Like how can we foster interdependence between these two countries? So, as I just mentioned, that there are a lot of geopolitical challenges. As you can see in this map, these are the various insurgent organizations working in different parts of Myanmar. They're actively working. In fact, India's like Nagaland has got this insurgent organization, NSCN, which is also being given a place in Myanmar. So they have their camps set up where they're working, and they're all being funded by external powers. So, Myanmar's domestic security landscape, which is marked by long-standing insurgencies in the border regions, which are actively working with the insurgents from northeast. So, they definitely pose a security challenge for us. And there are historical and ideological linkages, as I just mentioned before, which are operating with Myanmar insurgents, because you have an ethnic linkage, right? You feel connected with them. So, since like there are families, and since the border was demarcated during the time of independence, so some families remain on the side of Myanmar and some families remain on the side of India. So they share more of their alliances with Myanmar actually. So there has to be collaborative security measures, coordinated military operations, and intelligence exchanges, which is very important in that region, because this is a very critical region. So stability in this region is thus not only critical for Myanmar's national cohesion, but also essential to advance its broader economic and strategic objectives. So my final takeaways are these projects definitely will be beneficial for India as well as Myanmar in connectivity and trade. And beyond principal transport corridor, we are also working on developmental programs in Myanmar's Rakhine state and enhancement of road infrastructure linking Kaleva to Aizawl, it's in India, eventually connecting with the Aizawl-Guwahati National Highway. So there will be these projects which India is focusing on as a diplomatic measure, as a military cooperation. These development programs will definitely benefit the northeastern part of India, which has been neglected for centuries. The due recognition is definitely needed. It's really important that these border communities need that attention. They should be uplifted from poverty, because India will become truly developed only when all the people developed equally. It's not only a certain section of the population which is developing. We need an equitable distribution of resources for everyone. So I would like to conclude my presentation here by just saying that we should see Myanmar's instability as a key driver of cross-border threats. So there has been cross-border linkages of these insurgents, which are trafficking a lot of arms, ammunition, as well as narcotics as well. So it's very important that India adopts very important, border governance mechanisms to address the national security, but again, with a humanitarian touch, because that is very important. You have to understand Northeast from a Northeastern perspective. Uh, you have to understand from a humanitarian perspective. Unless and until you understand the cultural, connections and the historical side of the Northeast, it's different from the mainstream India. So that humanitarian touch is very important. And again, China's deepening political and economic footprint, which is growing in Myanmar, that definitely poses a serious security dilemma for India. So India should take a very nuanced diplomatic approach that safeguards India's regional aspirations without alienating Nepido. So I should and conclude by saying that the border communities which are marginalized, they need attention. They need to be benefited from these development outcomes like these Kaladan projects and everything. So with this, thank you so much. Namaste.